Hey ho VC, it's TC here. This is a contest entry for my pal Jeff Whitcher at Vinyl Destination. He put a contest up about a week ago that asked us to show our 5 earliest albums. I have to admit I started collecting when I was 3, I think, when my mom and my relatives were giving me all these kiddie records, and eventually, because my mom was an avid radio fan, she was an avid record fan, I started getting into regular music. So these are 5 of the earliest things I could find. I'm not sure if they're all perfectly earlier, because my earliest stuff were 45s. I have a lot of 45s. Not very many left from when I was younger. My very first record that I consider my record is We'll Sing in the Sunshine by Gail Garnett. That's a 45, and I don't have access to it. In case I just decide to stick with the LPs. Some of these were mine, some of them I got for gifts, some of them I bought with an allowance. The very first thing I got that my mom bought me when I was 3 years old, because I absolutely adored her, excuse the cover because it looks like crap, Nancy Sinatra, and How Does That Grab You? This has, I think this was her second or third album. It has How Does That Grab You, Darling on it. It has Bang Bang with Lee Hazelwood on it. It has Crying Time. Not sure what else was a big hit off this album. The Shadow, her version of The Shadow of Your Smile, because it was obligatory. If you were an artist of the 60s, you had to record that song or you were thrown out of the music industry. Simple as that. Everybody in the 60s recorded that damn song. So this is a mono pressing, and like I said, I was a kid. I didn't take good care of it and whatever, but it's in piss poor shape. I mean, it really is. But it's a great album, and I played it a lot when I was a kid. Second was forwarded to me by my aunt, who was nuts about the band that did it. She made me nuts about the band when I was younger on a visit to Ohio from when we lived in Washington, and later on she gifted me with it when she got older, got out of school, got married, went to school to be a teacher. So she gifted me with a couple of them by Hermit's Hermits. This is the soundtrack from Hold On, their attempt to cash in on the Beatles movies. One of them, Kim and I actually bought the DVD. Oh, good Lord, it's gone out. I actually bought the DVD on demand, because she'd never seen it. We wanted to use it for our musical what was it called? Masochistic March Musicals year. It's not the best movie in the world. Not by a long shot, but the music is classic. This is the album. It does feature mostly the band. I got to get my lamp because it's a black on red. But it does feature the hits Leaning on the Lamppost and A Must to Avoid. Also, Shelley Fabre and Hermit's Hermits doing Make Me Happy. And of course, the title track, Hold On. Wasn't full of hits like some of their other albums, but I liked it, and I've always been a big fan of Hermit's Hermits. I have several of their greatest hits collection. Love them stuff. One of the first things I bought on my own when I was in first grade, I don't know, I must have got something for birthday money or whatever. This is another one where it has not been taken care of all the best in the cover or the record, but I still love it, and I'd love to find an album that actually works, because the title track of this album always skipped. No matter what I did, it always skipped. And that was what I bought the album for. This is the album My Baby Loves Lovin' by White Plains. This is one of 3 or 4 different bands that Tony Burrows did lead singing on in the early 70s. Of course, My Baby Loves Lovin' was a top 5 hit in the summer of 1970. It was the only hit they had, although there is some really great stuff on here. I've actually used a clip of a couple of them on our older show, Subject Cinema, and I was always quite fond of the song called Taffeta Rose. But My Baby Loves Lovin' never played properly. It again is in crap shape on Durham Records. The album's in terrible shape, but I still have it. Another one that I loved when I was a kid was this album. It was one of those budget albums put together from some of her earlier stuff. This is Lynn Anderson. This came out in the wake of the popularity of Rose Garden. It features some of her earlier stuff, including her take on Leroy Van Dyke's Auctioneer. She's very good at it. Her take on Harper Valley PTA, on Crying, on Ring of Fire, a few other original songs too. I have another one that's This one is on Mountain Dew Records. And this is actually a second copy I obtained from a family friend. The one I have is just terrible. But I had this when I was in first grade, and I loved her a lot. But this was a budget label, and the other one I have is on Pickwick, Flower of Love, plus I got some of her more recent, her early 70s Columbia stuff too. I love Lynn Anderson, she was awesome. Finally, when it came out, there was no keeping me away from it. I was part of that group of kids, I think I was 6 or 7 when it came out. Osmonds, their debut album that included One Bad Apple, also had Donnie's Sweet and Innocent on it, his solo single. Their version of Motown Special, which I'd never heard until I heard this, and their version of Heavy He's My Brother, which was a huge hit for the Hollies a couple years earlier. It is a gatefold. Again, it's in very bad shape. And we'll try to open it up. It goes like this. It's ripped in the center. Lots of writing from my babysitter in this case at the time. But, you know, it's a great album and terrific stuff, and it showed off that the Osmonds were going to be around forever. They're still around in one form or another, either solo or as a group, or Donnie and Marie, or Donnie and Marie. They were terrific. So those are 5 of the earliest albums I bought. Jeff, I hope you like this, and I hope everybody else does too. I'm enjoying watching everybody else's. It's been fun. Don't forget to like and share my channel. Subscribe if you can. Click that notification bell and the thumbs up, man, to make sure I get a good rating for it. And don't forget to check me out on my social media, which you should find somewhere in my notes. And you'll come over and see my regular website at thekirkhamreport.com and check things out. Until next time, I got more contest entries to do. I got a whole list of them I want to enter. I'm TC. See you later. Bye-bye.